10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up.
What it do? This is your boy, West Africa Floyd, back with another episode. I'm sorry for the delay, y'all. You know, sometimes, man, technology be tripping. I don't know. It's just weird sometimes. But this is another episode of the Kikback podcast, man. I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in, supporting, sharing, especially through these times with the local election going on. You know, this is big. This is important. What up, Scott? Scott, I guess BBB. I guess that's for you, Biguita. I guess that's what
you think. Hey, Scott, how are you? All the way up there in Waco.
Waco in the building. But I thank everybody for tuning in, sharing, showing love, showing support, and I appreciate Miss Biguita Hernandez Smith for joining the show because she's been very busy these past. Well, you've been busy for a while. You've been busy since I first noticed you with the Love Thy Neighbor thing, and I guess we'll talk about that again. You know, we'll chime in on that.
That seemed like umpteen years ago.
Yeah. So how have you been, ma'am?
I've been really good. So first off, I want to say good evening to everyone. Hope everyone's having a great night. What's tonight? Thursday night, the eve before Friday. Yeah. It's been really good. It's been a lot of work, but I really welcome the work. The work has been phenomenal. Like we just came back from the United Steelworkers Union rally today. I mean, I've just been blessed with a lot of opportunities to connect with people and to do great work. And I don't know anything better. I don't know anything else but the work. You talked about Love Thy Neighbor. That was I wouldn't say it's my first initiative in Beaumont. It's not, but it's probably the one that's the most well known. And yeah, we've been working ever since. And in terms of this campaign, I believe I announced in February. And we have been grinding ever since. All I know is the grind.
Yeah, my bad. That's when I noticed you from the Love Thy Neighbor. I know you've probably been putting in work way before that, but that's when it caught my eye. Like this person is doing a lot in the community. Actually, not in the community. This person is doing a lot in Southeast Texas because he was helping out in Orange, Lake Charles, all over.
Get comfortable.
And stuff like that.
I mean, if we go back, I like this because thank you for bringing me back on, Floyd. I think that you have a phenomenal platform. Let me just give some kudos to you. I think that you have grown significantly since I was first introduced to you. This is a place where people go to kick back, but this is a place where now people go to be informed, and that's huge. So you are stepping up and love the fact that that's happening, but yet still down to earth. Like that's what we do, right? Like we rise to the next level, but we're still down to earth. We're still approachable. We're still accessible. We still got you know what I'm saying, swag and stuff. But we're respected in our community.
Yeah, and that's one thing you've been real with because you told me this off Facebook Live and like in person, like away from everybody. So I respect it when you say it because I mean it's humbling. It's humbling to hear something like that. And shout out to Brittany.
Doing your thing, going to breakfast, brunches, and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I was a little uncomfortable. I was a little uncomfortable there. I told you I wasn't dressed. I felt like I was undressed, even though I felt dressed, but I was, everybody was dressed up.
Yeah, but the thing is that you are who you are. And when you walked in the building, everybody knew who you were. Stay who you are. That's how you're comfortable. It wasn't like you were inappropriate. You looked great. You had your little girl with you. I was so happy to see you when I walked in.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's somebody I know up in here. So I immediately felt comfortable. Brittany said that you're so damn likable and cool.
Thank you, Brittany.
Shout out to Brittany.
Brittany, it's very important to me like I said, to be able to talk and have a regular conversation with people. I'm a regular person just like everyone else. I just happen to be running for mayor, but if I'm going to be a leader of a city, I need to be able to speak to the people on a very human level. So that's what I'm here for. And then we got to get business done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't. I think it's a waste of time to be on a pedestal or walk with arrogance. We don't have no time for that. We got work to do. We got
Facts.
people to move forward. We got a city to grow.
So today you was out there with the USW, the United Steelworkers, um, out there. That is, I think it's Exxon.
It's
They're out
Exxon.
there.
So what's happening is that Exxon Mobil, who everyone knows, we have a refinery in Beaumont. Well,
Mhm.
Exxon Mobil and United Steelworkers Union could not come to agreement in their contract. And usually, I learned a lot today because usually, when that happens, it's around economics, it's around wages, it's around they're trying to negotiate for larger raises and things like that. And I found out today it's not about the raise. It's about how do I say this? It's about shot calling, and it's about being able to. Exxon wants to be able to project the work and kind of direct the work of the employers, and the union wants to be involved in terms of where their workers are going. So for instance, if someone has seniority, who's been at the refinery for 20 years, they
Mhm.
shouldn't be transferred to another facility where they would be at the bottom of the totem pole. So they're really trying to balance the control of where their employees are doing their work. And I thought that that was very interesting, but very valuable nonetheless. But this was my first time just being out there with the union and the people, and we had such a great time. So I had my team, a couple of people from my team with me, John Manfredi and Paul Martin, and then
Mhm.
Auntie Ava was out there with us.
What?
And yep, and we had a great time. I'm going to post pictures, but it was just, being there in solidarity, supporting the people. If you guys don't know, my main career is workforce development, which is making sure that our people are skilled and developed and trained. And then once they get into jobs, actually making sure that they're taken care of in those jobs, and they actually grow and build careers. So this was right up my alley. Like I said, I've never worked with unions directly like that or been in the presence, and it was
Mhm.
a great experience for me. Like I literally had to sit back um, and just take it all in, speak to the hourly workers. I mean, what's happening, and this is big, is that 600 workers, hourly workers, are being locked out by Exxon.
Mhm.
So if you're familiar with a strike is when the union says we will not work. But a lockout is when the organization says we are locking you out, you can't come back. So
Yeah.
it's interesting times. And obviously, there's some people who are not going to be as affected. They get to go on unemployment, but then there's some people that they're not as well to do, and this is going to affect them like tomorrow financially.
Yeah.
So
Fact.
let's keep them in our prayers.
I think that's kind of dope that you was out there too, because it's citizens of Beaumont and this area. And like even if they don't live in this area, I mean they still have to drive to Beaumont, and they're kind of partially citizens. They shop in this area and they do
Sure.
all kind of things. So I mean they're just as important also. So I
Look,
think
they're
that's
our
kind of dope.
neighbors. That's
Yeah.
where love thy neighbor came from, right? Like we have to represent. Of course, as mayor of Beaumont, I'm going to be focused on the city of Beaumont, but I really look forward to leading our area with our other mayors and our other leaders. It's very important. We just can't silo and just think that we can do it by ourselves, or that it's all about us. It's not. So I was very honored to be there. And you know what, Floyd? Like I think politics has gotten such a bad stigma, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
everybody's around because they want the vote. And I have made it very clear to people when I speak to them, I will not directly ask you for a vote. Why? Because I think that's artificial. It's superficial, right? Like I'm going to have a conversation with you, and I'm confident enough to know that once you do your research and after my conversation, that you'll make the right vote. So when I go into an arena like that, that's really serious. I don't want to be like this figure, right? This like
Mhm.
figurehead. And so, we had our shirts on because we want them to know that the Biguita Hernandez Smith campaign supports you, but it's also important in me to speak individually to folks so that you know that I care. And the reason why I care so much is because this is the work that I've done, for the last 20 years.
Yeah, and another thing that I want to say, I don't know if well, I'm gonna say when I had seen you out there when it was election, early voting election, and I think the news showed up, and then I'm not gonna say what candidates it was, but certain candidates ran in front of the camera, or they did
Did you
certain
see
things in
that?
front of the camera,
You
and
saw that?
yeah, and that wasn't your style. That
It's not
wasn't
my
you stayed
style.
there doing your thing, and it's not about being on TV and running around when the camera's up and stuff like that. I thought that was real right then and there. That you know,
Yeah, and that's why Beaumont, we have to keep our eyes wide open. Like we have to be awoke. Because if you really look at it and your eyes are wide open, you can see right through certain people. Prime example today, I like to learn a lot, and like I said, I haven't been around union work a lot directly. I'm familiar with it. So Jordan James was there from he's the news anchor. You know Jordan James,
yeah, I
right?
know Jordan. Yeah,
So I'm like, hey Jordan, what's going on? I'm like, so tell me, like, what angle are you, doing this story from? And it's a shame, and I'm not saying nothing to Jordan, but he's like, Brigida, well, I would interview you too, but I can't interview you without interviewing the other candidates. I'm like, Jordan, I just want to know like how this story is going to come about and how your mind is how you are creating the story in your mind and from what angle, just to learn. I could care less about an interview. This is not the right time. Like this is about supporting the people. But
yeah,
he was like, okay, all right. Like it's just not about that. And trust me, when you do the right thing, that saying, build it and they will come. When you
uh-huh.
do the right thing and you're really sincere and you're genuine, it'll come. You don't have to force the issue.
Facts. Yeah, I know
Facts all
Jordan.
day.
Uh, hey, shout out to you, Mr. Roy, Big Bro Roy. Uh, he was out there almost every day out there. He was campaigning for you and Miles.
Terry
Uh,
was campaigning for Terry. Terry was campaigning for Miles, so he had the Miles shirt on.
he
But
did.
Terry was getting the light. All right, Terry was coming to the yellow tent to get the light. Right, Terry? Terry said, "I need some light in my life."
Yeah, he felt comfortable over there.
I mean, energy. You got to protect your energy.
Yeah, he said it was a lot of fake energy where he was at first. So I guess he had to go to where it was real at.
Yeah, come to the real tent. The light, the yellow all day. We shining bright.
So he said right too. So I mean, we don't know a lot of people's platforms. Even council and people that are running for mayor, but you got a platform.
I
You
got a
got a
platform.
vision.
What's
Because
that?
I say you got a vision. A lot of people like to explain. I mean, they like to answer a question, but uh, of what's asked to them. But like as far as what you want to do as mayor, but you have like a platform. You have like a mission that you already have set for if and when you do become mayor. Is that true?
That is true. I think that when we first spoke, I talked to you about my spiritual foundation. That I
Mm-hmm.
believe that God puts us in opportunities and He gives us experiences ultimately to prepare us for His next assignment. So my vision is clear in that I've done economic development and workforce development work for the last 20 years. I was blessed to be given opportunities in New York City, to be able to grow businesses in New York City, train and develop people so that they could secure jobs in New York City. And then I was able to do this on a national level and then focus again in the Houston Gulf region. So coming to Beaumont again, right? So I lived here before and then I did all this great work and then I came back here. I mean, my prayer was, Lord, I cannot be on the sidelines with this experience. This city is in dire need of growing, and my background can contribute directly to its growth. And quite frankly, the vision is not, it's for me, because I have the background, it's not rocket science for me. I can see very clearly We need more industry, right? We need to diversify industry. We're talking about ExxonMobil, and all these people are locked out of a job. And if we had a different industry, or an industry that was transitional to them, perhaps we can transition them into another job while they wait for this lockout, you know? And then we talk about our young people. Our young people are graduating. I have a 17-year-old that's graduating from Westbrook. These guys need opportunities. Your daughter, how old is she? 5?
Mm-hmm.
She needs opportunities. We're educating her and you're grooming her to be a phenomenal woman. When she grows up, she wants to be, I mean, I'm sure you want her to be close. I'm sure you want your grandchildren to be close.
Mm-hmm.
In order for that to happen, she needs to be able to have opportunities and have a quality of life in her city. So it's very clear, right? We need new industry. We need to create new jobs. We need to make sure that our local jobs that are here go to the local people. We need to make Beaumont a destination city where we have our entertainment and our quality of life here. I'm not saying it's phenomenal to travel to different places, but why do we always have to jump ship and go to Houston to have a good time?
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
You know?
Yeah.
And I want to like teach a little lesson here. Hey, Ike, how are you? That's Isaac Mouton.
Yeah, that's Isaac.
Hi, Isaac. How you doing? I'm still waiting, Isaac. I am waiting. He knows what I'm talking about. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so we jump to Houston, we jump ship. And then just a little economic lesson. We take our money and we jump ship to another city. And guess what? We're pouring our hard-earned money into the growth of another city, another economy. And I'm not saying that we don't do that. I mean, yeah, of course, we want to travel the world. We want to travel the country. But we need to make sure that we pour into our own. And so in order to pour into our own, we have to create our own.
Yeah, that's true. My bad. I got distracted. My daughter got she got a new dress. It just came in.
She did.
Yeah, it had unicorns on it and everything. Let me see, Car.
Don't they love unicorns? My little girls, my granddaughters, they love unicorns.
Unicorns and rainbows is her thing. I swear to God.
And there was some podcast, I can't remember, but there's unicorn ice cream at Kroger's. You got to get her that unicorn ice cream. It's not Bluebell, but it's unicorn ice cream, and these kids love it.
Really?
Let me see the dress. Let's see the dress. Can we see the dress?
Well, she just went, Kyrie, let me see the dress. Come here. Let me see it. Let me check it out. Jump over that. Let me see. Come here. Now, they want to see your dress. Okay, let me lift you up.
Let me see. That is beautiful. Yes.
Right, go play.
Show Kyrie this. Ask her if she would like this.
Kyrie, come here. You want to see some unicorn ice cream?
Look, Kyrie.
You want some of that?
Can you see it? Look, Mama, you want it? Ask Patty to get it for you after the show. It's at Kroger's, okay?
She gonna take one bite and be like, all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, my bad. I got distracted.
Okay.
I didn't mean I kind of ruined the zone or whatever. But yeah, like we was talking about as far as like I mean, that is true because a lot of people do go to Houston and they go spend their money at different restaurants and all type of stuff that
nightlife.
And it's just the atmosphere that really people are going to this is what they're going for. It's just the atmosphere. I think we can recreate that atmosphere too. I mean, I
think so. And I think that, you know what? I forecast.
Get to that.
I mean, I can't do this myself, Lord. You know that. Like, I have a vision. I have the background. I need people who have the same vision. Like, I know that you and I are going to work together. You don't know it yet, but we are. Like, it's just, can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Hello?
Unicorn swirl is the truth. Yeah,
Can you hear me?
it is.
Can you hear me now?
Hello? Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to take a lot of us. It's going to take Ike Mouton. It's going to take Pastor T, Aaron Cormier. It's going to take a lot of us who get it, who really care about our city, who understand what it means to to be different and to bring some different things in. And I won't equate this to being young. I equate this to being innovative and being able to see how we can benefit from what other cities have done.
When I seen you out there, we was talking about voter turnout.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little disappointed with the voting turnout so far. I was over expecting. I was expecting these like maybe like 40,000, 50,000. I was like really hopeful on some high numbers. How you feel about the voters turnout?
I feel the same way. We had a goal of 30%, right? So voter turnout. So you guys, voter turnout is how many turns out of the registered number of voters. So I don't want you to think about the population. So the registered number of voters is around 78,000 in Beaumont, which needs to increase too, right? If we have a population of 120,000, we should have more people registered to vote. But anyhow, our team's goal was to be at 30% of that, because the last local election was 13%. Like, we were achieving high. And why? Because we felt like this was going to be a dynamic election, right? This was something different, where Mayor Ames has decided to step down after a number of years of her commitment to the city. She's done a great job in leadership, and she was handing over the baton. And to me, like, at least for us, we live this every day. That was like dynamic. Like, wow, okay, there's going to be a shift. And then all of the other council positions, councilman at large, Ward 2, Ward 3, they're all like really kind of sexy races. So why aren't people interested? And so what I hear all the time is, well, folks have, voter apathy because they got tired from the national election. And I just feel like, okay, I get it, but we don't have any time to be tired. Like, if we want our country to change, we want our city to change, it's going to take you anywhere from 3 minutes to 15 minutes to get your vote out. Just go get your vote out and do your research before, be prepared, and you can get out real quick.
Yeah, exactly. How are you tired of not voting? Like, it don't take that long to vote.
It doesn't take that long. I don't, it's hard for me to relate to. I am empathetic. Okay. Like, I can understand, but it's hard for me to relate to as a person, because we only have this one life and we only have this one chance, right, at doing life big. And your voice is very valuable. So just exercise your vote. If you truly love your city and you plan on staying here, you need to exercise that vote in order to make sure that the leadership buys into what you want for the city and what you want for your family. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's real simple. I mean, how can you complain about certain stuff if you're not willing to do anything about it?
This is what I'm saying. So,
that makes sense.
And there was I'm going to use the term voter suppression, just because the first week of early voting, and we have to look deeper into that, was from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And when you think of the average worker, that average worker is on the job at 8 a.m. and that average worker does not leave the job until 5 p.m. So that was, that was really focused on the population of retirees and maybe entrepreneurs. It wasn't cool. And then we had the second week of early voting, Monday and Tuesday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And that's where we saw a lot of people. I mean, and we did Facebook Lives and got people out. So right now we're at like a little over 11,000. I'm going to say this. I hope, how many people you have listening right now? How many people are watching?
Well, I'm going to
make a plea.
It fluctuates. Right now it's 27, and then it goes to 30, then it goes down. And so it fluctuates. Right now it's 27.
Okay. So now I'm speaking to 27 people. So those people who are on here who haven't voted, you guys, I'm just giving you the heads up already. Saturday is going to be raining. And we already said, people are not going to come out because please do not let the weather stop you. It is going to rain on Saturday. We will be there. Please come out and vote. It is the last day to vote. You can vote as early as 7 a.m. and as late as 7 p.m. And it is going to be raining. Get your umbrellas ready. Get whatever kind of gear you need ready and come out and vote and be a part of making this city a better place. Please.
One thing, if and when you do become mayor, what would be the first thing you would love to kind of implement? The first thing you would like to do as mayor?
The word unity is used a lot. It's the buzzword across all campaigns. I can't think of a synonym right now, but What I will tell you is getting leadership together on the same page. I'm just reading your comments.
Yeah, I'd be like, I think they're having they're having like their own conversation in the.
Oh, I see. Because I was like, yeah, I think, because I'm looking at Miguel Chavez's comment. I'm like, yeah, we can change local government.
Yeah, it's
I guess
Miguel
he's
and
speaking. I
TP.
guess he's speaking to someone else.
Yeah,
So my first priority, I mean, there's a lot of priorities, right? And in a leadership position like this, you have to juggle. But one of the most important things is making sure that you have a council that can get along and work together. Not necessarily have the same opinions or have the same agenda, but I respect you as a professional, and I am going to commit to building a culture where we can work together. I think that is huge. And I think we need to recognize the fact that we are going to be leaders together, that we are going to have people looking at us as examples of leading our city, and we need to take it very seriously and be the professionals that we know that we can be. And we need to understand that character is everything, and every single ego of that council needs to be checked at the door so that we can do the work that we were elected to do. That is like first and foremost.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It
Because
was
that's like
comical.
internal business, like how are you going to take care of your house outside if you can't take care of your home first, right? Like how am I going to take care of the people if we can't take care of ourselves internally?
Yeah. And that was the main thing that we were seeing. We were seeing a bunch of arguing back and forth. It was becoming comical to watch it. I think that's kind of why they took it off of Facebook Live, just because the comments, and we was just seeing the argument, and it was just becoming like a, I don't want to say that word, but it was just a joke. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a
Like,
disgrace.
let's see who's going to argue today, or let's see what they're going to talk about now. That's going to start an argument.
And Floyd, you know what? It's a disgrace, and trust and believe that when businesses and people decide to come to a city, they look at those things, right? Like if you're a person who does their due diligence and cares about where they're going to say, okay, let me look at the leadership of the city. Let me look at the school district. Let me look at the opportunities and blah, blah, blah. So when we are representing our city in that way, who's going to want to come? If you don't have your infrastructure of leadership together, you're not appealing to anybody. So that's really huge. The other thing I'll say, and I don't know if I've been this blatant in saying this, is that I've spent 5 years in Beaumont, 4 years, and then now a year and a half coming back, and I am baffled with the lack of unity here across races and ethnicities. It's baffling to me. It's like 50 years back. Just the conversations that I'm privy to hear about, and it's different communities, Black community, white community, Hispanic community. I'm like, wow, these conversations are still happening, like them against us. Like we can't have that, and that can't be, and I will not. That's intolerable. So I need people to join forces with me so that we can get that out. That needs to be washed out of our city. Our city needs to be healed from that. And the way to do that is to force conversations to be had, serious conversations, so that we can at least recognize that somebody has a different perspective. The reason why we are who we are, how we got here, is based on our experience. So if we at the first step to listen to person's experience so that you can understand where they're coming from, not necessarily agree. But like I said, I was born and raised in New York. For 38 years, I lived in New York. And we have systemic racism all across our country. Yes, we do. But New York is a melting pot. New York is, New York City is used to being around, we're used to being around different people. We live it and breathe it every day. And so coming here, it's a melting pot as well. But in this melting pot, like there are territorial lines that I'm baffled. And I truly believe that I'm the candidate. Think about this. I'm the candidate that wasn't wounded from it. Thus, I'm the candidate that's the best person to be able to get it out of our city, to be able to eliminate it, because I'm not wounded from it. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Miguel Chavez, let me answer it a little bit. Biguita can answer her own questions, but I think as far as a candidate, I think Biguita's been the most diverse as far as representing people as a whole, from the Hispanic race, Mexican, Black, Vietnamese, and so on and so on. But Miguel is so passionate about. I don't think one person can. Well, one person can make a difference, but I think it takes a group of people to address something like Jim Crow, and he's talking about the obvious segregated Beaumont and
Yeah, which I just talked about. And let me just say,
yeah,
like, Miguel, I really look forward to having a conversation with you. I'm going to, at this point in the campaign, I'm just going to be very direct. And I'm a direct person, but you kind of feel your way through different people. Last week, I had posted a very sincere post about the fact that I wanted to help you in the work that you were doing. And, how I conduct business is not on Facebook, right? So if I'm going to help you in the work that you're doing, you and I need to get together and have a meeting and talk about what it is that you want, what goals do you want to meet, and how I can help with that. And you wanted me to put all of it out there on Facebook, and it's just not how I do business. And then you talked about the fact that I was pandering for votes, and I can't prove to you that that's not who I am. You will see the proof in the pudding, and you can see the previous work that I've done in previous places. And I welcome you to speak to the communities that I've impacted. But what I want to tell you is that I am a Latina. I am an Afro-Latina. My father is from Puerto Rico. My mom is from Aruba. My grandfather is from Dominican Republic. I am a Latina. So, of course, I want to engage the Latin community. I want to be able to help them. I understand the lack of trust in government. I understand that they are not engaged in a lot of our country. I lived on Staten Island, New York, which is a predominantly white borough in New York. And so I had to do a lot of work with the Mexican community there because they siloed themselves in an area, rightfully so, where they can only be able to connect with each other. And I had to have conversations and I had to sit with them to build the trust and build the relationships. So all I will say to you is that I would love to work with you, but please know that I am a professional and I'm not going to put all of my plans out there. In order for us to really develop a synergy, we have to meet as professionals and be able to do that work. And I said it from the beginning, I am not a panderer of votes. But what I will tell you is I'm confident enough that if everybody on this podcast does their research and understand the work that I bring to the table, you will make the right choice. I don't have to ask for a vote.
Oh, Miguel! I think I remember meeting Miguel at the Port Arthur the thing. He was at. That's when I first met him. He was out there.
I never met Miguel.
He was there. He was at the Port Arthur thing that with my daughter when I met you there.
Yeah, but you see the comment. Let's address issues, not identity politics. I think me and Miguel needs to have a sidebar conversation.
Yeah, y'all need to have a
yeah. This is not about identity politics.
Yeah, it's not about.
I'm trying to express, and I don't know. It's almost as if like, how do you trust other entities, but the person who actually has immigrant parents that have gone through some stuff, you're constantly questioning me. Like, I don't get that, but we can have a sidebar conversation.
Yeah, Miguel. I remember meeting Miguel. Very passionate about the Hispanic community, and
so am I. But
yeah.
But you got.
I didn't know who that was at first. I just remembered that. I remember looking at when I added him on Facebook, like his page was like it wasn't like his face and nothing. It was like what it is.
I met Miguel's students and they speak. I mean, so many people have a great respect for the work that Miguel's doing. I'm trying to help sincerely. So I hope that we could have a really positive conversation at some point.
Okay, so I know a lot of questions that you've been on a lot of forums.
Oh yeah. I've been on we were talking about this last week because there was so much hype about the televised forum. And that was a great opportunity for us because we really got exposure that we needed, all of us. But a lot of people feel like that was our first. That was probably our 12th. But it was the one that the majority of people saw. And like I said, it was a great opportunity for all of us. But yeah, we've had a lot of forums.
Has it been stressful?
I'm no.
It's been pretty. I know the questions have been repetitive.
The only thing is stressful. No, because a long time ago, Floyd, like I chose to detach myself from stress. I cannot engage in stress and be the
Mhm.
best that I can be. So anytime, again, and then this goes back to spirituality, I'm on assignment and I'm like, Lord, speak through me. Lord, show me what it is that you need me to do in this city. So I've not been stressed. What I will say is that I have dug deep in terms of like perseverance and energy, because you're going and you're going and you're going. And even when you're sleeping, when I'm sleeping, my mind is still going because I want to do the best. I want to be the best. And I want to make sure that I've left nothing on the table. So in terms of like energy and stamina, I have dug very deep. Like I've gotten to another level of that. But stress, no, I haven't been stressed.
For sure. Hey, shout out to my boy Adrian. That's my boy right there, man. I thank you for tapping into the show.
Hey, Adrian.
Thank you, Brittany, for coming on the show. There's a lot of other people that had some comments that saying it was one of the reasons why they wanted to vote for you, because you seem so real, authentic. Joseph Trahan, he asked the question. My bad. I got questions on my own, but his question was pretty good. He said, "What are some powerful lessons you learned during your campaign process?"
I love this question. And you told me that you were going to ask me this question, Floyd, and I've been thinking about it a lot.
Oh, I did say that. It's in my question list, but yeah, I just, I guess so.
So powerful lessons is that you can't hold everyone to the standard that you hold for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why didn't they act this way? And it's like we're all on different journeys, and people will learn certain lessons at certain times. And there's some people who just leave the world with lack of morals and lack of values and lack of integrity. And that's just how it is. So learn to like, not necessarily accept people, but recognize that people are not going to meet your standards.
Yeah.
What else did I learn?
That's kind of hard for some people.
It's hard for me.
When you realize that, they're not gonna do the things that you would do, as what they would do for you and stuff like that. And I learned that a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I just keep pushing, like, as far as like supporting people, regardless of what they do. Posting stuff, all kind of stuff, just showing them love. And when you don't receive it back like how you should, then I just keep going. I just keep pushing, because whatever's for me is meant for me anyway.
That's it. No man can stop it.
Yeah.
Hence my next lesson. No man has your destiny in their hand. I don't care how much money, I don't care how much power, I don't care how much influence. And I've learned this lesson before, but it's been enriched in that, like you just said, Floyd, God has my destiny. What's written in my life has already been taken care of. So I don't have to kiss up. I don't have to I don't have to please anyone. I have to know that I have done the best work that I have done. I have led by example, because I have a phenomenal team, Team BIG. Shout out to Team BIG all day long. It's a group of about 10 individuals who all have different talents, who have seen the light and really want their city to be in a better place and have grinded through it. But it's important to me as a leader to lead by example. And so everything that I do, I think about them, so that they can learn from me and know what it is to really put your all into it. And I have learned from them as well. But again, to the point that, folks, please know that there's no reason to worship man. Man does not have the power. At the end of the day, man, no money. And this was a very grassroots campaign. I did not have a lot of funding behind me, but when the work has to be done, it will be provided for. And yeah, and I'm free, right? Because I don't have to, because my money, it hasn't been funded a lot. And quite frankly, just to be completely transparent, the majority of my monies came outside of the city. So that means when I'm forced to make a decision, I don't have to make a decision based on somebody having supported me before. I can make the right decision and feel free, and I don't have to have that monkey on my back.
Yeah, facts. See, Mary, you late. Let Mary coming into the show.
And she's asking the questions that was
No,
asking for.
she just said she loved the fact that you're from New York City. And hey, let me ask you a question. This is probably not related to the show. So DMX died. DMX died when he came out from Yonkers back in the early 2000s and stuff like that. How was the vibe in New York with DMX? DMX was doing his thing, even though you're from Staten Island.
DMX. So let me just tell you, what's that song? I'm not gonna forget. It's my favorite DMX song. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Yeah.
That song brought fire to the club. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Fire. Like DMX got us to a level that I don't think Biggie, I don't think Tupac, Jay-Z, nobody. He just had this fire in him that just brought him to another. He was extreme. Like nobody's business. So that song look, I'm not going to say everything, but I remember we went crazy off that song. Let's just say DMX was extreme. He got us all feeling really good and really hype. You know, DMX can hype you up. You're like, oh shoot. Yep. So a big, tremendous loss. He had battles. I think that he was battling a lot, but I think that he was a very spiritual man. And I think in his heart of hearts, he loved the Lord, and he really, really loved the people. I have no doubt about
that. Mary, let me chime in on what Mary was saying, that she loves the fact that you're from New York City. Is it being from New York City? Is it anything like your connections? Do you have any connections from New York City that you can bring to Beaumont to help Beaumont once you become mayor, let's say?
So, Floyd, I have connections all across our country.
Okay.
And this is what I want to make people understand. So in this world in this small arena in our country of economic and workforce development, these are communities where we know each other, and we can feed off of each other, and we can utilize each other's resources. So when I talked about managing a national program, it was across over 20 cities. That's huge. That means I can tap into 20 cities across the United States and say, hey, this is a blueprint of Beaumont, and we're thinking about XYZ. Do you think that you can put me in touch with these investors? Or I can speak directly to investors themselves. It's a powerful, powerful network, and that's what I want people to understand. So it goes beyond New York City. But just to give you an example, and we weren't able to showcase this, but just about a month ago, New York City called me to be a guest speaker on a forum for minority and women-owned businesses who are looking to understand how to grow and how to level up their business and what resources can help them and so on. So just to give you an understanding of not being in the city, but still being called upon to be a help and a resource to the city, which is a testament to how valuable my skill set is and what I can bring to the table for Beaumont. And I'm not boasting at all. I'm just trying to get folks to understand the power and the experience that I had and how that could bring our city to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, and do you think the city manager, are you going to work with the city manager to help implement some of these things? Because it seemed like the city, a lot of people, well, I'm not going to say that, but as far as, I'm not going to say overworking yourself, because, bringing in all those connections and doing all this and that, but you got a team, right, to help you with all this? Because we don't want our mayor to get stressed out doing this.
No, I mean, yeah, like the how do you say that? A good leader is based on the team that she's built, and you need to know how to delegate, and you need to know who's talented at what and bringing teams together. So you first talked about the city manager, Kyle Hayes, and I actually saw him today, and I don't walk in with any former opinion. My thing is that if you're going to be a leader, you have to ask the right questions, and I have to get an understanding of what's happening in each department. I know generally because I attend the city council meetings every Tuesday, but really intricate, right? Like I need to get some intricate understanding and ask the right questions and see what his view is and his standpoint, and not only his, but his directors and the employees of the city. So I plan to be able to work in this, Floyd, like I can say who I would like to work with, but at the end of the day, I can't choose who I'm going to work with. That means that I have to build relationships across the board and recognize who's valuable and what. And we put those resources together and we create a dynamic team that all has the same vision.
Yeah, and I think that was what was lacking on the council. It seemed like everybody had their own vision. It was a lot of arguing. They didn't agree with anything. And then you had certain cliques was just gonna agree with whatever they agreed with, and win the vote over 4-3 or wherever it might have been. And I mean, it's like like the draft is tonight. Shout out to my team, my squad, the Cowboys. But the draft is tonight. Yeah, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fanatic. I got the jersey on and everything tonight.
Look, Giants all day. I'm just like, because I don't even follow professional football like that. I just like both my boys played football, and I just like to see them play. But Victor, I had a little look. My husband's gonna get mad, but I had a little crush on Victor Cruz back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he used to do the salsa every time. Do you remember that?
Salsa. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Victor Cruz. And your sons. I met one of your sons out there too. He does shoes and stuff like that. I wish I had knew his page, so I could share it. So people, if they needed shoes design and hats, he does all that, right? Shirts, hats.
Yeah, he does that. He does. So he's called GS Customs. Man, I don't have the. Let me see if he'll text it to me real quick. But it's GS Customs, and he does shoes. He does the customs, Air Force Ones, and he does the hats. And his hats the saying is, "We are not the same." Which is not, it's saying that we are different, embrace our differences. We are not the same, and we don't have to be put in the same box. And so he's making those hats, and he's making the T-shirts, and he is doing well. Like, I'm like, wow, people really pay all of that money for customized shoes?
Yeah, they are. They really are. Let's see. Miss Landry, my bad. I don't want to say the name. Miss Landry.
Marinette. Her name is Marinette.
Marinette, she said we still have undecided voters. What are some strategies you will use to reach those voters? Which is the last day of Saturday. No, I was saying the last day.
You can talk about it. Yes, I can talk about it. So I was on Coffee with Biguita Tuesday. Today's Thursday. And so it was about undecided voters. And I wanted them to come on. And it was a feature about undecided. Oh, it was yesterday. Undecided voters, and have them speak to me. And that was really successful because after I got messages about folks who told me that they were actually at the polls and they were making a decision based on who they knew, and me talking about the fact that we can't make those decisions anymore. We have to make informed decisions. They changed their decision. And I had a lot of people come to me about that. Also, we are targeting, and I'll be completely transparent, we want to make sure that we engage our Hispanic neighbors in voting. And so we have strategies set up this weekend to make sure that actually happens. And I'm really proud of it. And we're gonna we're gonna partner with Pack the Polls as well. So Pack the Polls, if you guys are not familiar, you should be familiar at this time, because Pack the Polls had a forum and they've been going out there registering young people. And so Pack the Polls have reached out to all candidates to partner with them to get people to the polls. Transportation or lack of transportation will no longer, or should not be an excuse, because they have buses and all types of stuff going on to get people to the polls.
Yeah. It's another person said they voted for you because just listening. She said, I knew she had my vote, but just listening to her, I know that's the right choice.
Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that.
Shout out to you, Tiffany. Man, my boy tripping, man. No, it's not a Sean Lee jersey, man. It's a Jalen Smith jersey.
I can't see all your. You can only see all your comments, right? I can't see them.
If I post them across, then you can read them and stuff.
Oh no, that's okay.
It's pretty much all of them.
I think you like I think you like to have your comments close to you.
Yeah, I like to post the comments. I love posting. I like to have people engaged and stuff like that. I know you didn't answer this a lot of times, but as far as infrastructure, it's supposed to rain Saturday. A lot of people
is it that timely, right?
Yeah,
are people going to be flooding?
Yeah, a lot
Are
of
people not going to be able to flush their toilet on Saturday and can't come to vote? Like, this is real serious business. Infrastructure is very important. It's extremely important, and I think that we as a community and the leaders have gotten accustomed to, well, this is what normally happens. And I think that they're unacceptable living conditions, and I think that it needs to change. And I can only speculate because I don't know the specifics, but if there's contractors involved with trying to understand why we have brown water and why we're constantly flooding, then I'm going to ask those contractors, like, what I won't accept as a leader is, well, this is just how things are. That's unacceptable. There should not be, brown water is not, well, this is just how things are. Because I don't know about you, Floyd, but are you serving brown water to your beautiful little girl right there?
No,
when people say it's okay.
I will try to buy as much bottled water as possible. My wife does a good job with just drinking bottled water and stuff, so she kind of gets us on that. So, I mean, it's scary. It's scary.
But my thing is, we don't live in a third world country. We live in the United States of America. And so we have to be able to push and push and push. And I don't know that there's enough pushing going on.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm not confident that the priorities are where they're supposed to be. And I'm not confident that, like I had said, as a leader of this city, there's competing priorities. And so one of the things that I would do on a council is I would say, not only, okay, so you have your mayor, you have your councilman at large, 2 of them, and then you have your ward. Well, not only are we responsible for those traditional things that we're normally responsible for, but how about we break things up into teams where, 2 people could have their eye on infrastructure. 2 people can have their focus on economic development. Downtown, well, that's economic development, education, so on, so that we can kind of break up our talents to be used wisely, because those priorities will always be competing. So we can't just take one and say, this is the one we focus on. It's a city and they're always going to be competing. So break up the talent and let the talent focus on and hone in on the individual priorities.
Okay. Another question. What about another thing, we had the council and we had BISD, and it seemed like we talk about making that connection between the two, but before, when the voting to keep the crossing guards, they voted against it at first. I believe. Am I right about that? They voted against it, not keeping.
They voted against it. So with the crossing guards, so just to be crystal clear, the crossing guard program, it's not about. So it's okay. A little history. Crossing guard program started with BISD, I believe, and then it transitioned completely to the city, and the city was paying for it because BISD did not have the funding. This was years ago. Then the city said, you know what, it doesn't really belong with us because the crossing guards are in your camp and we can't manage them regularly. So we're going to hand over the responsibilities back to you, BISD, but we're going to contribute $90,000 or up to 50%. What's happening now, right? What's happening in the recent years is that BISD is now in good fiscal standing. BISD now has a police department. So there's councilmen at the city that brought it to the agenda, like, we shouldn't be paying for this anymore. And so there was a battle on the city council. Should we be paying 50% or should we not be paying 50%? Or 90,000, right? So ultimately, we're in a good place right now after all that bickering back and forth, that the council will continue to pay the 90,000. In my mind, that was a waste of time. $90,000 is a drop in the bucket for any of those budgets. And so quite frankly, if I'm the mayor of Beaumont, and again, I need 4 votes, I am voting to say, you know what? These are our children. We are two entities that receive taxpayer dollars, and we will continue to pay the $90,000 because that is our sentiment of how we care about our children and how safe they are, regardless of whether or not BISD, has the monies to do so. What's great now, Floyd, that I don't think that you're aware of, because this is new, is that has been solved, but there's bigger fish to fry, right? Like there's so many great things that the city and BISD can do together. And so what they've decided is that on a quarterly basis, they will have a meeting, right? Or we will have, and let me claim this. So moving forward, on a quarterly basis, we will have a meeting with BISD to talk about how we go about partnering. What I will say is that people can meet all day long, but it has to be very concrete information. So what I would suggest is when these two entities come together, there is a concrete agenda. People have already thought about the ideas that they want to partner on, and then it's more of a discussion on how to go about executing and which partnerships we think we should move forward with. It can't just be a pie in the sky, up in the air meeting, because then it'll just be a meeting to have a meeting, and that doesn't accomplish anything.
One thing that and Miguel is just, Miguel, like we talked about, man, if you want to have that conversation with Biguita, just hit her, man, just inbox her and y'all can have that one-on-one conversation. He was talking about what about our undeveloped communities, which is some parts in the north end, some parts in the south end. Maybe
so I will blanket this, and then again, Miguel and I can have a very intricate conversation, and we can break it down. And hopefully, the passion that we both have, we can work together. Right? It's politics. What about our undeveloped communities? I think, Miguel, I think that we should. Two people that are passionate about underdeveloped communities needs to come to a standpoint of not being defensive about it. Like give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove you wrong. Like, it's okay. I'm here. Like, I'm going to do good work. Right. It is not about, he's asking me about politics because we're running a campaign, and it's not politics. It's about how we go about leading. So just a blanket statement over underdeveloped communities. Underdeveloped communities, we need to talk about equity versus equality, right? So a lot of the monies that are going into the city is going into the city that brings in the most revenue, which is the West End. And so I agree that when we decide on where we're going to fix infrastructure, that we don't only use the criteria of what brings in the most revenue, but recognize that we need to do things that equate to people's quality of life. And those are the criteria that we need. The avenues, Pier Orchard, Charlton Pollard, these are areas that are older communities that need focus and attention to. And so we have to balance, because from an economic perspective, we can't let those communities lack either. From what I see, those areas that I just mentioned, the underdeveloped communities, there was a lack of maintenance. We need to put in maintenance plans there. We need to make sure that we catch up, because there wasn't maintenance done. Therefore, when we talk about they're old. Yeah, they're old because there wasn't any TLC there. And then we need to speak to those communities and understand what they are needing and what they want. Miguel, I will invite you to listen to an interview that I had with Miguel Santillana from the Avenues, where he raised his hand and said, "Hey, Biguita, can you come and speak to me? Because I haven't been invited to a forum where I was able to ask you questions directly." And so what did we do? We went to Miguel's house and said, "Hey, Miguel, we're here. And ask the questions that you need and tell us what you want." That kind of work, that kind of grassroots work is what, did she fall?
No, she's showing me another outfit, my bad.
It's okay. I care about the children. What that kind of grassroots efforts where we come up close and personal is the kind of leadership that this city needs. And then we can chat after, Miguel.
Yeah.
I'm Lord.
I'm just finna gee, bro. This your first time watching my show?
I think so.
First time watching my show, bro. With my show, let me explain my show. With my show, I interact with the audience too. So, I mean, your name is not coming up. There's other people's names coming up too, as far as the questions and what we talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's not just your name. Shout out to Tiffany. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Mary. Shout out to everybody else that's been watching.
Shout out to everybody.
Everybody,
and
my boy TP Sagi, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Everybody's concerned. It's not just about you, my brother.
Sure. And the thing is that like easy, like you get so much more partnering with people with honey than you do just go. We're human. Like anybody that's gonna come at you like that, you don't feel good about that. So let's try to work with each other with some mutual respect.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, the polls is 7 to 7 Saturday, right?
The polls is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So there's 15 locations, and we're going to post them. So there's 15 locations total for Beaumont. For early voting, we had 4 locations. Yeah, we had the courthouse, we had Rogers Park, we had on Finette, and then we had the location on the north end at West Lucas. So we're going to have 15. And what I will say is a lot of people want to come to Rogers Park because they believe that that's where all of the hoopla is and the candidates.
Yeah, that's where, they speak with all the action there.
Everybody loves Rogers Park, but we saw lines in Rogers Park. And if you want to get in and out, I suggest that you go. I mean, if that's your thing, if you don't mind standing in a line and want to get the full experience and have all the people around you, then you can come to Rogers Park. But yeah, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time in the rain. We have our tents. We're gonna have our music playing. We're gonna chill.
I might come out there and join y'all Saturday. I was supposed to take my daughter to
Are you
zoo.
really gonna? Come on? And you gonna stay?
No, look, I was supposed to take my daughter to the zoo Saturday. It's gonna rain. I'm not gonna be doing nothing but just chilling in the house. I'm gonna come join y'all. I'm gonna have to get some rain boots or something like that.
Bring her too, because I'm gonna have my granddaughters out there too, and they're for my oldest granddaughter. No, she's 5 and 4 and 3, so they can have a real good time eating snacks and stuff. They like the snacks.
She killing me with them snacks lately. I don't know if they've been giving them more snacks at school, but I swear she been hearing, I need a snack. I'm like, yo, I don't have that much snacks. I'm not prepared for that. Like, yo, I think she just said that because she loves going to the store. So
yeah, I loved going to the store with my father too when I was young. He used to always, every time he used to come home from work, he would either he would pick me up from school and take me to the store, and it would be like he would spend $1, but that $1, like I just loved it,
Yeah, back in the day, 50 cent used to be lit. Like I got 50 cent.
Listen, and those, I don't know, did you guys have the quarter waters, the quarter juices?
Yeah, we used to have those, the little plastic little bottle ones and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
You can get a lot with $1.
Yeah, you can.
And now the chips are like $1. The chips used to be 25 cents.
Yeah, used to get like 4 for $1.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think they like $1. I think it's like $1.25 for 2 of them or something. I don't know.
It's ridiculous. So, is there anybody out there that wants to ask? I know, because I don't want people to get. I want people to ask informed questions, but I don't want people to get like bored. Like, is there anybody that, like, anybody want to ask anything personal? Like, I'm happy. I think it's important to get to that human level of a relationship.
Miguel, this is my last time bringing your name up, my brother. This not no debate show. I don't do no debates, bro. I don't debate nothing. Anybody have an opinion or whatever it may be, politics, religion, wherever it may be, that's your opinion. I'm not finna debate you on your opinion. This ain't that type of show, my G. You might have to go to another show.
What show is that? Like, I don't know why it has to be so aggressive.
I don't know.
Like, we want to do good work. Like, why does it have to be so intense?
I don't know. I'm sipping wine. I'm chilling. I got my daughter right here. I'm not doing no debating. I appreciate the love for your talk. I could get you on the show and you could be passionate and explain yourself about whatever you committed to. And I'm going to respect that. And I'm not going to disagree with it. And I'm going to let other people get to hear it, and maybe they chime in and agree with you. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of really man, you know what?
It's okay.
It's
okay.
But anyway, yeah, I will be out there. I don't know if I'm gonna be out there 7 to 7. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know if I
No, I
will.
mean that's a lot. I mean, you got to spend time with your family and stuff like that. We got to be out there 7 to 7. That's the work. I mean, we stepped into it, so that's the work that we have to do. But yeah, come and chill for a bit. We'll have fun. It's fun. It was a lot of fun. Even though, we've been out there, I've been out there with my opponents, I've been out there with other councilman candidates, and we got to know each other on a different level and laugh and have fun together. At the end of the day, we're all people,
Yeah,
right? So
I thought it was a good
got to
time.
know each other's families.
Mm-hmm. She was like, Tiffany want to know, we need a common goal for our youth. What type of programs would we implement?
So one of the well, first of all, I see, and also I've heard a lot of the community talk about the lack of after school programs, like the lack of the recreational programs. There's one recreational center, and then that's it. And so we need to understand why, and we need to be able, and I'm not saying everything comes from the city budget, but get really creative on making sure that our kids have recreational opportunities. I think that's huge. But one of the things that I was specifically focused on prior to this campaign, and we put it on hiatus, is working, just because of the campaign, so that there would be no conflict of interest, is working with BISD on a mentorship program. And that mentorship program covering a bunch of bases. One is to make sure that our kids have a family foundation, and understand how important family is, and engaging their family in the mentorship,
Mm-hmm.
which speaks to character and how, who are you and what are you going to do when no one's looking, and how important character is. And then, and it's not consecutive, but it's like a mentorship program, a holistic program. And then we talk about what your talents are and what your interests are, and how we go about discovering them. Another piece of this mentorship program was making sure that our kids were positively connected to law enforcement, and having that start from a young age in school. You have police officers in school, and building that relationship, and relinquishing that fear that our young kids have towards law enforcement, by setting a great foundation, and then ultimately connecting them to their next steps, right? So this is everywhere from middle school. We're going to start in middle school to high school, to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that there is a path forward, because it's not, mentorship should not only be about professionalism. It starts with who you are, who you are, and what's your character. And how genuine are you going to be when you actually get into these professions that we're grooming you for, and how to be a productive citizen. So that is a mentorship program that, like I said, I was focused on with BISD, and we will resume conversations in August. That's our plan. I'm sorry, not in August, because what our plan is that, so the election will end May, and then we will resume conversations after the school year, to ultimately launch something when school returns back in August. So I look
Okay.
forward to that. But we were all on the same page with that, and I have great partners to help me with it.
Okay, Miss Landry Parkinson. I'm not gonna mess up Marinette. Did she run for
Yes,
she ran for a seat, right?
she ran for county commissioner.
Okay, what's up, Miss Landry? Yeah, that's right. Okay. She wanted to know what have you been doing the last 4 or 5 years since you've been in Beaumont?
So Marinette, to be clear, I moved to Beaumont in 2013. And when I moved to Beaumont in 2013, I was managing a national small business program. And most people know my story. The reason why I moved to Beaumont. That's your phone, Floyd?
Yeah, my bad. Somebody's calling, man. Golly.
It's
It's
okay.
the
It's okay.
draft, man. My bad. I was supposed to put it on. I don't know why my MacBook is not like my phone or whatever, but
It's okay.
they probably calling me about football. My bad. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
No worries. What are we talking about? Marinette. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so 2003. So everybody knows. I'm going to assume everybody does, but I'm not going to assume. So let me just tell you, the reason why I moved to Beaumont was because it was the better place for me to raise one of my children who was a teenager at the time in New York. I was a single mom, and his dad moved here to Beaumont. And it was very clear that as a young man growing, he needed to be closer to his father, regardless of the fact that me and his father were not together. And, and get him out of that city, right? Like, you recognize when your kid cannot handle certain peer pressure, so on. And so I made that move. And in making that move and placing my priorities where they needed to be, I was blessed to manage a national small business program, which gave me a lot of experience that I'm going to be able to pour into Beaumont. At that time, I was not able to contribute directly to the city because I was managing a national program. So and it was my prayer to be able to one day be able to contribute to this city that saved my child's life, basically. But at the time, I was managing a program, traveling across the country, so on. In my time now, or in our second time back, I have worked directly with Lamar Institute of Technology as a workforce partner. I have done the Love Thy Neighbor in the wake of Hurricane Laura. And even when I was here before, I've consulted with various small businesses. I am an active member of the Beaumont Chamber. I am working to diversify the Beaumont Chamber so that we have a significant member of minority and women-owned businesses there. I am, and even in this campaign, people will say, well, I hope you don't disappear if you don't win. And this is the work that I do on a regular basis. And it's really nice to be able to contribute the work that I have committed to in my entire career to the city of Beaumont, whether, as mayor or as a leader. So those are some of the things that I have done directly contributing to the city of Beaumont.
Okay, Terry, he's like, tell
everyone.
He's like, tell everyone about
your great husband. So I've had so many blessings in this city, and one of them is meeting my husband. I came here as a single mom, and I had no agenda to meet any kind of man because I was focused on my children. And long story short, I met my husband, Dr. Mr. Jason. That's a joke. That's a joke that we have with him because Jason is very no nonsense. And he is a doctor. So he's a doctor of education. And we call him Dr. Mr. Jason. Anyhow, Jason is a phenomenal partner. He is a man who protects me, and he is a great balance to me because very loving. And I don't necessarily see that. I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And he is the type of person that's more shrewd and observant and recognizes people's intention and shares that with me. So it's a great balance. He is so committed. Like during this campaign, I was given kind of direction that, you shouldn't go everywhere with your husband because people are going to think that you can't do the job, that your husband is doing the job. Mm-hmm. And me and him talked about that. We were like, that's nonsense because we've already we've already accomplished so much. Like my husband is there because he is my partner and he helps so much. He contributes his mind. He contributes just physically helping me operational wise. And he's a safe place for me. And so, yeah. And then on the other side, we've been called, the Obamas of Beaumont because we do it together. We are a strong partnership and we have a foundation of faith and trust. And for everybody who's, with, single or, aspiring to be in a relationship, please make sure that you build it on a foundation of faith. Because if you have a foundation of faith, you're going to think twice about some things that your flesh might want you to do that your faith will not allow you to do. Your convictions will not allow you to do.
Where is he from?
Jason's from Houston. He's from 3rd Ward.
Oh, really? Okay. 3rd Ward.
3rd Ward. I don't know, is there a thing? I don't know, is it 3rd Ward? I don't know. But shout out to 3rd Ward.
3rd Ward. That's what's up. People know what 3rd Ward is. I mean, they trying to gentrify 3rd Ward, to be honest with you.
Big time. So Jason's from 3rd Ward. So he actually was the former vice president of LIT Student Services. And
Okay.
so he currently is working with BISD and really proud of the work that he's doing. He is a teacher at Smith, and Smith is a school that needs a lot of male leadership. And I
You
think
know,
that he is
I
really in his
mentor a kid at
purpose.
Smith.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Now you
mentor a
mentor
kid.
him?
Say again?
You mentor him now?
I haven't mentored him in a while, but I still have his number and
Oh,
stuff like
okay.
that. And another kid I was mentoring, unfortunately, something happened to him. You know, he got situation happened where hopefully, you know, he can get himself out of that situation. But you're right. A lot of those kids need male figures around.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, most of the time they just want a male figure to talk to, somebody to text and just see how's it going and is everything okay. There's the littlest things that matter to some of
Yeah,
the
I think so. And I also think that kids, even though they rebel back from it, they love discipline. They like structure,
mm-hmm.
right? Like they want to,
Yeah.
they feed off structure, and he's one to give it. He's one disciplined dude. I know he's in the other room. I know he's laughing right now. But yeah, I mean Jason's very cool, but he's a structured individual and no nonsense. And people kind of sense that. And Terry's similar. And so that's why Terry wanted to because they have vibes a lot and really became good friends.
Yeah, I like Terry. He will tell you his opinion, and he won't shy from it or
He
whatever.
shoots
So,
it real all
oh yeah,
day.
he keeps it 100. He had one of the comments that he was, and I know what he's talking about. A lot of people don't know what Terry was talking about, but we was talking about Beaumont, and he was saying a certain person said if you don't like it, then leave. Somebody told him that if you don't like where you live.
Oh, he wasn't. I wasn't about Beaumont. It was about his neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah. I think he just kind of referred it to like, you know, as we're talking about Beaumont, how the councilman was talking about his neighborhood,
Um,
which is very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I don't agree with that comment, and I think that Terry was taken aback by it because that's his neighborhood. That's where his family is, and when you're trying to advocate for your neighborhood and get better resources there and services there, that's just not the response that you should get.
Yeah, exactly. It was just surprising and it's very unfortunate that that happened. But I mean, Terry, you know, I don't think Terry was shocked by that comment.
No, I think that I don't know. I think Terry would be like, no. I think he needs to have. I think there needs to be a sit down with him and the individual who made the comment.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Hey, Saturday, will you find out that Saturday night who the mayor will be?
So this is what I'm told. I am told that as early as 7:15, early voting numbers will come out. 7:15.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, okay, but early voting numbers, like what about, because we anticipate a big election day. So apparently the early voting numbers will be somewhat indicative of where the election or the results are going. But ultimately, the end and final results should be somewhere around 9 p.m.
Okay. Also,
Exciting, huh?
yeah. Also, when you find out who wins, when will they start as far as being mayor?
So I was at the State of the City today, and shout out to Mayor Ames. She kind of gave us a complete like rundown of the state of the city, and then we were able to take pictures with her, and I, thanked her for her commitment and all of her guidance and direction thus far. But she had said something about, May 9th. My last day would be May 9th if there's not a runoff. Because everybody's anticipating a runoff. I am not claiming that at all. We will see what the results are. But she said something, if there's not a runoff, it'll be like July or June something. But I don't know. That's what I have to find out. Like, when actually does the mayor step down and all the new candidates transition and actually start serving in that role? So Stacey's saying May 11th. May 11th is when the actual new candidates start to operate in that role. Because from what I understand, there's training that needs to happen.
Yeah, May 9th is a Sunday, I think. I think that's Mother's Day.
He's saying May 11th, but I mean, my thing is that, so when does the training happen? But we could ask Tina tomorrow. Tina Broussard at the city clerk's office.
Okay.
To find out, but it's all exciting, right? So on Sunday morning, well, Saturday evening, we will know who the new leaders of the city will be.
I think that's a lot of excitement behind it because Becky's been mayor for like over 10 years and she's been on council for like another 20 something. I don't know,
17, 18, something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is going to be
She's had tremendous commitment to this city. And I think on that alone, that is something to give her accolades for. I think that she's had significant accomplishments. I've spoken to Becky. I think that there has been, she's very proud of significant accomplishments, but she did talk about a divided council, and it's hard to get things done when you have a divided council. But by no means do I think that she was a bad leader. I think she's done a great job, and I think that she was ready to hand off the baton, and I'm happy to receive it.
Yeah, I think you will do a great job.
Thank you.
Terry said, "Run off me, push things till June."
So how wonderful is this? I was told that the runoff election, if that happens, is going to be on Juneteenth.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
How fantastic is that? Just right.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you with the thing. We traded that pick to the Eagles. What the heck?
Oh my God, we're going to lose the best players.
That's my bad. Thank you, Mary. One thing about Mary, she's passionate.
You got your back.
Mary got your back. I'm talking about.
Listen, when Mary is down for you, Mary got your back, your left, your front, your side.
Mary, you don't need security. You got Mary. Mary is
all over the place. She's like, Mary, how'd you see that? I saw it.
Yeah, Mary, I like Mary, man. She's passionate.
She's cool.
She does not.
She has a phenomenal husband too, Joe. Her husband, Joe, and they balance each other out. Joe's cool. He's a cool dude.
Mary stays. I think she stays across the street from my aunt. Mary, if you know Jackie Castile, that's my aunt. I think she lives across the street from me. So, But anyway, Brittany, Brittany doesn't stay in Beaumont. I don't believe. I think she stays outside of Beaumont. But how to have people outside of Beaumont, showing you support. How is that? How do you feel about that?
That's great. I mean, I have so many people. So, for instance, like my husband's, my husband's family is coming on Saturday to support from Houston. There's so many people. Like I've connected with so many people, and I really value relationships, and I've really value the relationships that I have had and I have built all over our country and all over our world. So, I have family overseas, so I have so much support, and it just makes me feel great. I'm not one to necessarily reflect on all of the things I've accomplished because I'm always looking to do bigger and better for my people, wherever my people that I'm serving is. So they remind me a lot. And it's just nice to hear people believe in you. And I think the biggest compliment that I receive is, wow, Beaumont, you are really blessed to have this genuine, authentic leader. Like that means a lot to me, my character, because I could have all the experience in the world, but if you're not genuine and really down for it, then what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, exactly. I have one more question, but if anybody else don't have a question, and you might have addressed this, but as far as moving forward in Beaumont, how can we do that? Just in case nobody don't know that already, because we've been kind of stagnant.
So Floyd, I got to get the shirt. You know what shirt I'm talking about, right?
Which one?
You don't know the shirt that I want from you?
I got a lot of them.
Come on, Floyd. Okay, so this is my answer. Mindset.
Oh, the mindset is everything shirt.
Mindset is everything. That's where it starts.
Oh yeah. I
You
gotta get
know, I
that.
feel that Beaumont has I'm not going to say Beaumont. I'm not going to say everybody, but there's this kind of culture of it's okay. Average is okay. Status quo is fine. This is how we've always done it. Non-deserving. Like, I want to instill a mindset to every resident in Beaumont that we are an empowered community. We deserve what everybody has all over our country, but we need to work for it. You know, the mindset of a work ethic. Like, we can't just expect things to come to us and be reactive. We have to be proactive and we have to work for it. So that shirt, when I saw it, and I still haven't gotten a chance to order it. I'm going to order it right after this. Mindset is everything. That's where it starts. So if we have a mindset, a certain mindset of leaders that can give examples to what the mindset should be of the community, we're going places because we're growing, we're inspiring people. Look, now we're building, we're inspiring, we're growing, we're doing it big in Beaumont, but we got to shift our mindset that we can do this. We can have better. We deserve better, but we got to work for it.
Yeah,
Mindset is everything. Yes, it
that's
is
important.
everything.
It
You
is
know,
everything.
the mind is a very powerful place, and the mind dictates everything, right? Your spirit and your mind. So when I've come home, like I told you, I grinded so hard in this campaign, and I'm like, man, do I have any more? I get into a quiet place, and I get my mind right, and I get my spirit right. And I'm like, what is it that you want to accomplish? And yeah, I have more. I have more. Yep. I have more to put on the table because, folks, everybody out there listening, we got this one life. I don't know about you, but I want to be able to do and be the best that I can be and give the most that I can in this one life. And if everyone's up with that mindset, this world, this city, this country will be a much better place. Yes, mediocrity. Yes, I think somebody said something about mediocrity. Yeah, we are not. We cannot no longer be mediocre.
Oh,
Our
that was
mindset
cool.
has to shift to excellence. So, what's the shirt say? Mindset is everything.
Yeah, mine said
So
it's
we
everything.
need to
Actually,
say we need to get a
actually,
shirt that says something about Beaumont needs to shift to an excellent mindset, or we need to be a mindset. We need to be a city of excellence.
yeah,
Strive for excellence all day.
facts. I mean, yeah, I think
I
that's a
promise it. I
very,
promise it's rewarding. I promise you will go to bed so much more happier and be at peace if we really reach for excellence.
yeah.
Thank you,
Well,
Marinette.
yeah, man.
Marinette.
I like the actually, I like the slogan. One of your slogans, you know, I got 5 on it.
I
Vote for
got
5
5
on
on
the
it. So
ballot.
this is like you like, and also we got to have fun. You know, it's funny. Roy West and I were talking about this, and we said we've connected on the campaign trail, and we said, you know what, we got to have fun. Like, we got to just it's okay to laugh. It's okay to say good morning to your opponent. Like, we got to just enjoy each other. But that's where I come with 5 on it. Like, at first, I will tell you that, you know, my camp was like, oh, that might, well, my family more was like, that might be a little racy meaning like risque, because it's an old school song and, you know, it talks about certain things. And I'm like, okay, but it's a song that everybody knows. It's a
Mhm.
song that when you hear that beat, you're like, oh, like
That beat is
everybody
like,
knows that. They just,
that's,
wasn't it, what's that, what happened? What'd you say?
that's one of like the most dopest beats that
Dopest
I
beat
got. You
ever.
can't beat. That's a dope beat, like forever.
Ever. So I'm like, I get it, but you know, you want to engage people, you want to have a good time, you want to get our culture in there. So Big got 5 on it. Big got 5 on it. So let me see if I can remember. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I seen all your videos. That's pretty. I was
Okay, so
wondering.
Big is so we just made it a family affair. So my son and his girlfriend is actually singing that. So we went to the
Oh,
studio,
really?
yes, and did the
Okay.
whole song.
Okay.
So it's Big is 5 on it. That's the only vote for me. Big is 5 on it. Oh shoot. Big is 5 on it. That's the only vote for me. Big is 5 on it. She got all the things we need. Big is 5 on it. You know what, Jason?
What?
Can
Yeah.
you come in here to remind me of the lyrics, because I want to lead with the lyrics, and then
Oh,
Mary's new anthem is, so when she comes into Rogers Park, you know what she plays and she blasts it?
yeah. She said that.
Hypnotize.
She loyal, man. Yo, she's so loyal.
Yep. Hey, Biggie, Biggie. And then she dances to it and everything. Yes, Mary got your back. If Mary believes in you, she got your back. But anyhow, yes, biggest 5 on it. I'm the last one on the ballot. You know what they say about the last. And we got 5 on it all day. Please know, if there's anything you leave with, I'm a genuine, authentic leader, and I'm going to represent every single part of Beaumont. I'm going to represent, along with all of the people that I need to help represent our city, each and every nook and cranny of our city.
Yeah, Terry, she knows the words. She say, I guess he's talking about Mary knows the Lord. Yeah, Mary been singing
Mary
the
knows
words,
the words. She corrected me because I said the words wrong.
Well, you know, I appreciate you coming on the show. It's been an hour and 30. We can talk all day.
Fun. We can talk, yeah.
And you know, like we were stressing, look, if y'all haven't voted, Saturday is the last day to vote, 7 to 7. If you want to go show up, are you going to be at all the polls, or are you just going to be camping out at Rogers?
No, I can't just camp out at Rogers. I'll be at Rogers, and I'm gonna make I'm gonna have a presence, and I'm going to show my face at all of them. That's very important to me. So I'll be at everyone. I don't know what time, but we will, you know.
Yeah. So if y'all want to vote for Biguita, if y'all want to see her and stuff like that, just inbox her. She will not shy away from you. If y'all want to meet, if y'all want to talk, you know.
And if somebody says, oh, well, I'm going to go vote at this and this at this place, let me know. I'll try to get to that place so I can shake your hand, give you a hug, answer any questions that you have. I'm very happy to.
Miles, we know you was impressive during the forum. Miles just wants you to say his name. Which candidate are you most impressed by through the forums? Miles, you was very impressive. Okay, if that's what.
Wait, is Miles asking me that question?
Yeah, he was asking you that question. Which candidate are you most impressed by through all the forums?
No, Miles. Really, Miles? Miles, I'll say that I am very impressed. Don't forget my question, y'all. I will say that I'm very impressed by you, Miles. Miles brings it different.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks different. His whole platform on data for the ward individual data makes complete sense. And me and Miles, we have our minds connect. And I would love to work with Miles. I think he's great. Stacey, I just said I was impressed with Miles. So Stacey, I think, okay, so let me just say this. I'm going to take Stacey. I'm going to take Miles and Stacey. Impressed by both. I'll tell you which times I was most impressed. So Miles, I was most impressed when you talked, and so we know, like, we've seen you on various forums, and we know that you could talk about economics. We know your background, we know your education, but when you were able to incorporate your personal experience about being a biracial couple and that walk that you had to take and walking through that adversity and allowing us to see Miles the individual, that was very powerful. And then, you know, Miles can be a little pompous. Pompous. Miles Miles will do things that I wouldn't do, like when he talked about the fact that he had Alfredine and Getz, and he said, hey, you know, both of my candidates spoke highly of me, so why don't you listen to them? Like, we were like, oh, it was the truth. It was the truth. So that was cool. So that was at Sugars. That was my most impressed point with Miles. And then Stacey, my most impressed time with you, and you know this, is when you talked about your experience at BISD. Miles is my son, if y'all didn't know. When Stacey, when you talked about your experience with getting terminated at BISD and why, and how you talked about the fact that those young men are kings, and you are there to make sure that you pour into those kings, and you make sure that they're disciplined and that they're structured, and that we as leaders need to do those hard things to make sure that our young men fall in line. And you got emotional about it. And you talked about the fact that you would do it again. That was drop the mic for you, Stacey. I don't know if Floyd, you got to see that, but that was very powerful.
Nah,
And
I ain't get
me and
that.
Stacy's father was like, wow. And that was his drop the mic. So there you have it. I watch very closely. As I said, I know who I would like to work with. I don't know who I will work with. I mean, I think that we'll all work together in some capacity. But at the end of the day, we need to be able to all work with each other because we're not going to be able to choose.
Yeah, facts. And I'm not gonna say that person's name, but just inbox me and you can come on and we'll set up a date where you can come on the show. Just inbox me, we'll talk, we'll do something, we'll make something happen or whatever. So
is that gonna be spicy? Is it gonna be spicy?
I don't know. It ain't gonna be spicy on my part, but you know what I'm saying? Look, this show is strictly fun. I'm off. I don't get paid to do this show, you know what I'm saying? So as far as being spicy, as far as like arguing, I don't do that type of stuff.
No, I'm not. I'm just using the word. I mean, we got.
Oh, it might be spicy. You might be passionate about.
Sure, but I just think that, like, yeah, like I think that you can get your agenda moved forward. You can help communities. You can do great work, and you can have a good time and respect each other.
Yeah, no doubt. So, you know, just like I say, just inbox me. We can inbox me tomorrow because, you know, after this, I got some things I got to do. We'll do that.
You got to get unicorn ice cream at Kroger's.
Yeah, I got to go to Kroger's to get that ice cream and stuff. But I really appreciate you coming on the show. I will be out there Saturday.
Okay.
And, you know, I'll be out there.
Can you wear yellow, please? Because you didn't wear yellow.
I don't have any yellow, though.
All right. I have a shirt. I have a shirt for you.
You got a shirt? Okay. All right, cool. I got you.
Okay.
I think I got some shoes to wear. That yellow, I could get it. I'll wear anything with that. I ain't trying to impress nobody.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not down with shoes like that. Like I'll wear any color shoes. My kids will tell me.
Plus, it's gonna be raining. I'll give me some rain boots and stuff like that. I'll be out there doing my thing.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much. I hope this. I know that this is not the last time. And like I said, kudos to you. You're doing great work. You are well respected in the community on various levels. So congratulations.
I thank you. I thank you. And I thank everybody else for watching, for commenting, for chipping in, for sharing and everything.
Yes. Like thank you, everyone. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for the hard questions. Keep them coming. You should definitely ask what you need to ask before you go vote. And guys, those who haven't voted yet, please be prepared with voting for the propositions to the amendments. And we have them on the Biguita Hernandez Smith for Mayor campaign page. Those are broken down. We broke them down and translated them into plain talk. So when you walk in, be prepared. Otherwise, we don't want you to, we don't want you to be swindled.
Yeah, we definitely don't want you to be swindled. So, but I thank you for joining the show. I will see you Saturday. If y'all don't forget to vote Saturday, y'all. And like I said, if y'all want to see Biguita and vote for her and stuff like that, she will not shy away and she will answer and she'll talk to you. So, I thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm gonna go eat dinner.
See you Saturday. Have that shirt for me too.
All right, I got you.
All right, bet.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Look, that was the show, man. You know what I'm saying? That was Biguita Hernandez Smith. She is running for mayor. Cool person. Real. This is just one example why I liked it, because when I was out there and the news was out there, it was certain candidates, they ran towards that camera. They was in front of that camera. They was capping in front of that camera. And she got me, and we walked away from the camera. We walked away, and we had like a conversation. And she was telling me she's not that type of person that's just going to run and do stuff just because the camera's there, and stuff like that. And I like that. I thought that was a real deal. I felt that and stuff like that. So anyway, my next show is going to be next week. We're going to be talking about finances. We're going to be talking about savings, investing, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking about financial literacy and stuff like that with my boy Demarion Jones, man, a smart young brother. Stocks, investing, savings, checking accounts, all kind of stuff just to get yourself out of debt, stuff that you could set up for your kids, you know, when you pass away, and they can have, they can have something to have them straight and stuff like that. So my boy Demarion Jones, he go come on the show next week. We gonna be talking about finances. Y'all talk about getting that bag. Well, get that bag instead of buying Jordans, which you could do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want, but if you want to continue the bag for like generational wealth and stuff like that, this brother can help you do that. This brother can help you, have your kids in a great situation just in case something happens to you. So, next Friday, we're going to be talking about finances. We're going to really talk about getting that bag, you know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, in Beaumont, 33%, 1 out of 5 families is living in poverty and stuff like that. But, on Facebook, everybody's grinding. Everybody's getting that bag. Everybody's getting that money. So if y'all getting that money like that, then next week's show, it's going to be very dope. It's going to be very helpful. And, that's what we going to do. And if you want to be on the show, if you got something that you're passionate about, who hit me up? Okay, my boy got the shirt. I'm finna post you, my G. Appreciate you for rocking the shirt. Beaumont versus everyone. And, we drafted Michael Parsons, the linebacker. That's wild. Dang. That's crazy. Okay, my bad. Poverty is real. You know what I'm saying? Poverty is scary. So, we're going to be talking about multiple streams of income, all kind of stuff. We're going to be talking about finances. So, if y'all interested in that, we're going to chop it up. We're going to be real. But I'm finna get on out of here, man. I appreciate everybody for sharing, liking, commenting, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Homie, my boy, what's his name? I talked to you before. You was passionate when I talked to you, and I like that. I like people that's about passion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just hit me, bro. But you could come on the show, but I'm going to tell you one thing. My show, I'm not going to argue with you about anything. So maybe you need to go and check out a couple of my shows and see how I get down and check out the vibe and see what my show and what I'm about, and then hit me up, and then we could chop it up and you could explain what you're trying to do in the community, how you're trying to help, what we can do. And it's just going to be an experience. It's going to be an educational experience, my brother. But I'm finna get out of here, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. I'll holla.